Now, you were out fishing this weekend, too.
I was.
And you sent me some video. Let's roll some of that. We'll get that video up. Now, tell folks where you were at, what you were doing.
Yeah, this was a cool deal. Shell Oil Company, which is, again, all the Shell stations around and across the great state of Alabama. I want you to invite you to stop by your local Shell station. And they do a charity fishing tournament.
Oh, wow.
Every year. It's about 15 years strong, and it's to help fight diabetes. So it's for a great cause.
Oh, that's great.
Man, they had some great speakers, and they shared. So many individuals were there and spoke to us that this charity has helped their fight or their loved ones in diabetes. And, diabetes is close to all of us. We all know somebody that's got it.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool to be a part of this. Another sponsor of our show, Oil Equipment Company and OEC Construction.
Yep.
Well, they were a big sponsor of this. So because of that, I got to go on this fishing trip, and it was really cool. Probably the best part about it was I was in Key West.
That's it's sometimes it's the scenery that's important too. But I mean, some of the video, and we're showing some of this now. I mean, it looks like you guys were getting some pretty good catches in there.
Dennis, I'm gonna be honest with you. Through the years, I've been fortunate enough to go on some pretty good deep sea fishing charters, and I dare say that this particular day that you're showing footage of, I mean, it was fun, but it was work. We were catching. We were not fishing, baby.
Yeah.
We were catching. Yeah. We got into a school of some mahi-mahi.
Oh, man.
And, man, it was like we were doing do-si-dos on the boat underneath each other, around each other. We were switching.
So as soon as you were dropping lines, you were hooking them.
Man, we had 5 guys, and, I mean, we were, like, grabbing the reels, and we were all underneath each other, and we actually got some really good size mahi-mahi. Caught some wahoos.
Wow.
Caught some Bermudas. Now, you're talking about another fish with teeth. They said those Bermudas, when we get in a boat, said, watch out, they would take a finger right off if you weren't careful. Yeah. Speaking of where we've been, I've got Dennis Washington still on, and we've also been joined here on set with the beauty queen, Miss Katie Malone. Hey, Katie.
Welcome.
Good, thanks.
Welcome.
I'm excited to be back.
Yep, going to let you jump in a little bit. I want to go back. Right before we went to break, we were visiting about your shark fishing event, and I was fortunate enough to be on a big charity charter fishing tournament in Key West, Florida.
Yeah.
And
that
big time.
looked fantastic. And it looked like the weather was great down
Oh, my goodness. Look, for our listeners, and I understand Orange Beach here in the great state of Alabama is really second to none, as far as beaches and even really good fishing. I mean, it really is.
Oh, yeah.
But guys, that water, it was like somebody put just this blue dye. I'm 50 miles Hey, I'm 50 miles off of Key West, and I've realized I was about 40 miles from Cuba.
Yeah, you're a lot closer to Cuba at that point.
So, but it's just amazing. You get out there and you start looking at the skies and the water, and it's just God's creation. You just kind of get lost in it. But look, great fishing, great charity event for diabetes, Shell Oil. Visit your local Shell station across the state of Alabama because they're really, man, this event was cool.
That's fantastic.
Great fishing. Like I said, mahi-mahi, we were catching them right and left. Wahoos, and got them some to Bermuda. Great time. I invite everybody. And by the way, if you've never visited Key West, sight to see. Real quick description for people around here. I know most of us have been to New Orleans. I describe Key West as a clean, tropical New Orleans.
I need to go to this place.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll do shark fishing off of Key West now if we take the best of both worlds. And Katie, we'll take Katie shark fishing.
Katie, it's a little 4-mile basically key. There's an interstate that comes out of Miami, and it's basically a little 4-mile island with an interstate that runs into it.
Wow.
So it's cool. Yeah.
So
need to do it. Bucket list.
I'm being taken shark fishing.
Yeah, sure. You didn't hear that conversation just a few minutes ago?
I was not. I've been on Facebook.
Katie, you're going in a kayak with Brett and Dennis shark fishing, and you're doing the narration.
Doesn't that sound like fun?
Well, considering the fact that the last time I was at the beach in the water, usually I've just sit out with my book and read my books at the beach.
She's the kind when they yell shark, she goes running.
Okay, no. One time when I was at the beach, the last time I was in the water at the beach, I was in about waist deep water, so that's further than I would usually go. But I felt something bump up against me, and another person was in the water kind of close to me, and they said, "Are are you okay? And like freaked out. Y'all, it was a like ray.
Oh, a stingray.
Oh, yeah. We saw some of those this weekend, too. Yeah.
That is so scary. So
well,
a shark, like how big are these sharks that we're talking about?
Well, now the ones we saw this weekend were, they were only about 4, 5, 6 feet.
So
all right,
they
but
can't,
Dennis, let me ask you. So you're in the kayak.
Yeah.
And you've caught the bait fish. Got
Right.
a little, you said a live well.
Yeah,
there.
we got a little live well in these
So you bait
Jackson kayaks.
Now, how deep do we throw these out? You can't troll in a kayak. I mean,
Yeah, you can.
Really?
Well,
So
if
you
one guy's holding the rod and trolling while the other guy's paddling.
So that's what you're doing?
We did a little bit of that. Now, I mean, you can cast as far as you can,
Sure.
which isn't that far, but you can troll a little bit. We did a little bit of that. Got a few bites that way on some bait fish.
It was interesting to me that Brett made sure he said the drag is a lot less because if you,
Yes.
I mean, you snag that bad boy,
Yes.
and you don't have a good drag, your kayak, you're gone.
And he
Topside.
didn't, we were catching and pulling these to the boat within minutes this weekend, but when he did this last year, like in the fall in the hammerheads, sometimes you're getting drug around 1 to 2 hours.
1 to
Before
2.
you get-
God, get him tired enough to get him up.
Exactly, because you get these hammerheads that are about 10 feet long.
No, you can't do
and that. Exactly right. They'll pull. He'll have about 800 yards of line on his rod, and so when that shark bites, it pulls, and it's pulling several hundred yards out instantly, and so you've got to try to, work him in and tire him out. So the bigger they are, it could take 1 to 2 hours to get that
So
shark.
he's caught a shark that's that long.
Oh yeah, he did that last year. Yeah, last October he was down there.
Katie, and to take it even further, here's my deal because I just got back from a deep sea fishing trip, and so I've got this barracuda or Bermuda, and it's fighting like a dog, and it would see the bottom of the boat, and it would go straight down.
Yes,
and literally everything I had, to hold the rod.
Yeah.
So imagine this being a shark. And you're in a kayak, and it sees the kayak, and it's going where? Not out. It goes down.
Well, down and then out. And it's like you said, you can't put the kind of drag like you would be in a boat. So you got to let it pull, and you just got to slowly work him around. And
I'm sorry. This is so funny that y'all think I'm actually going to be able to do this.
Oh, you're going.
Oh, yeah.
You're all in.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was funny. The funniest part about a lot of this was getting out because it was so windy Saturday. Trying to get past the breakers to launch off the beach and get those kayaks out was nuts. Water splashing. We weren't even sure we were going to be able to get out, but we did.
And it's scheduled the week before Katie goes to Miss Alabama.
Yeah, we figured that would get her prepared mentally for Miss Alabama.
Our
shark
future
fishing
mental
trip.
toughness, huh?
Yes.
Our future Miss Alabama, believe me, that pageant's going to be nothing compared to shark fishing.
I believe you in that respect. I believe you.
Okay, so look, a lot of comments I got on Twitter and even some emails about the lady, the trophy hunter.
Yeah.
And, right at the end of the show last week, you actually cleared up exactly that she was harvesting that for
she had been asked, or she had been informed about.
Update everybody real quick about what we're talking about.
Yeah, so last week we talked about a so-called trophy hunter, if you will, who took a picture with a giraffe and posted it. And
she was getting
she
a lot of heat.
She looked pretty joyous in the picture. I mean, she had a smile on her face and caught some slack from an actor and comedian, Ricky Gervais, and that kind of blew up. So all this to say, she caught a lot of slack from people who weren't necessarily all the way informed, and it did turn out that she was actually
feeding a community,
local community. Yeah.
And we posted the story on listentotheeagle.com, and we also shared a link on our Twitter at Alabama.
Yes.
Katie Malone, the beauty queen, thanks for being on Listen to the Eagle. Dennis, thank you for being brave, baby.
We'll do it again.
Shark hunting.
You bet.
I want to thank Shell Oil and also Oil Equipment for allowing me to go to Key West, Florida on a wonderful chartered deep sea fishing trip. Thank you for making us a part of your day. See you next week. Listen to the Eagle.